Bangladesh is one of the few countries in the world where the ruling party, at least the former ruling party, and the opposition are headed by women, Sheikh Hasina and Begum Khaleda Zia. Both ladies trace their origin to two leading lights in the liberation war of 1971, where Bangladesh was created. Sheikh Hasina is the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Bangladesh's first president. He's the man who's often called the father of the nation. Khaleda Zia is the wife of the late General Ziaur Rahman, military commander who was also part of the freedom struggle and later ruled as a dictator and president. Now, both Begums have been political rivals and former prime ministers. Sheikh Hasina has jailed Begum Khaleda Zia in the past, in fact. But now things may be changing. Joining me on the show is my colleague Manish Jha, who brings us some very interesting developments on this battle of the Begums. And of course, Suhas Chakma, Director, Rights and Risks Analysis Group, joins us as well. Manish, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Suhas, welcome. Manish, tell us what your...
Thank you, Sandeep.
Yes, tell us what your sources are telling you about this Begums coming together. How did this happen?
You know, we always say that in politics, there is no permanent friend or no permanent enemy. It seems like true for Bangladesh politics also, because both party is thinking that if the time will pass and Muhammad Yunus will get more and more time,
yes,
then it may be possible that he will be another President Irsad.
Right.
You may remember about the President Irsad who took over, and then he was continued for so many years, and then Sheikh Hasina and Khaleda Zia both joined hand together, and then they started lots of democratic protests and using lots of international pressure, and then finally Irsad had to resign. So there is a historic background.
Yes.
And now I have information that from the both party, the senior leadership are thinking, considering and talking to each other. And there is a plan that now very soon we are going to see that Sheikh Hasina and Khaleda Zia will have a contact. And after that, both party will against Muhammad.
Both Begums will join hands against Muhammad Yunus. Suhas, does this seem to be on the anvil? This seems to be given precedent in Bangladesh, where you had the Begums coming together to oppose General Ershad. Is Muhammad Yunus the new General Ershad for whom the Begums have to unite and call for early elections, you think?
Well, I think if in the beginning, in fact, in the first interview itself for this channel, I had said that months ago, almost 4 months ago, that, you know, Begum Zia and Sheikh Hasina had to come together simply because Muhammad Yunus has come to power through a machination which is designed to keep him in power for a prolonged period of time.
Right.
And he has made that intention clear with the announcement of elections to be somewhere in 2026 June, which he will again postpone at that point of time, in the hope that, you know, Democrats will come back to power in the US and he will have the support of the Americans. We should never forget that this is a government which was installed by the Democrats through
by the Biden
administration.
Yes.
Yeah, by the Biden administration. And I think what we have forgotten is the fact that he's a bit different from Ershad, because Ershad, at the end of the day, despite all his faults, he was possibly the best administrator in Bangladesh. He was not as Islamist as anybody else would have expected a general to be. And I think this Nobel laureate has turned out to be a real Islamist who is surviving in power because of the support of the Islamic Chhatra Shibir. And, you know, there is nothing which he can do without the support of the Islamic Chhatra Shibir. And my fear is possibly Begum Zia will not be able to come back to Bangladesh from UK, where she has gone for treatment. I think this is the nicest way they have sent her to UK. Because the people who are in power, they believe, for right or wrong reason, that Bangladesh should get rid of the two Begums, minus two solutions, which they have been looking for. It has been a currency in Bangladesh for a long period of time, and they want to implement that, and they think that they will have support of the international community. And having declared the election in in July or June 2026, I don't think the Yunus government is going to give up power. So they have to resort to some sort of, protest, because BNP day before yesterday had said that the election should be held by August this year. So that's
Yes.
basically 7 months time. And that's not what Yunus is going to exit. So there has to be some sort of protest. And the only people who are supporting at this stage, the government, is the Jamaat Islami. So the
Yes.
other two political parties have to come together. The rest of the others are in jail.
Yes, the rest of the parties are in jail, and interesting that there seems to be a terraforming of Bangladesh politics on to remove the two Begums from the political firmament. But Manish, tell us how popular the two Begums really are in Bangladesh. Is it even possible to think of a political scenario in Bangladesh minus Sheikh Hasina or Begum Khaleda Zia? How powerful are the Awami Leaguers and the BNP in Bangladesh?
See, because it's a democratic setup. So in the setup, still the Sheikh Hasina's party has more than 30% intact vote bank. So
Right.
that is their power. Today, because the regime has changed, a situation has changed, so that's why they are not coming out from their home. But once election will be announced, and
Yes.
Mohammad Yunus understand all these nuances.
Yes.
That's why what happened after 5th of August, Begum Khalida Jia was expecting that now this is her turn. Her party will get opportunity to form the government. But that did not happen. And with the help of deep state, Mohammad Yunus came into the power. And
Yes.
now what Mohammad Yunus is saying? He is saying that at present circumstances, conducting election is not possible. So it will happen next year. And it means that the more and more time he will get, and then the more and more his influences on all the institution will increase. So
Yes.
that's why the both party is deciding to come together, and
Yes.
for that there are several meetings and there are several people are talking to each other, and we are expecting that within a few days we might see that. Khalida Jia and Sheikh Hasina are in touch, and they have decided to fight together against Yunus.
Absolutely. That's a story that Manish is broken on our network. The fact that the two Begums of Bangladesh should be coming together. Manish, thanks for bringing us that story. But Suhas, is time running out for Mohammad Yunus, given the fact that Donald Trump he takes office less than a week from now, and Mohammad Yunus is seen as a pro-Democrat a leader. I mean, he is believed to have contributed to President Biden's campaign as well. How does things change in the White House after Donald Trump takes over as president?
Well, after Donald Trump takes over as the president, it's not necessary that Bangladesh will be a priority of Donald Trump's administration. And, he's quite, you could say, unpredictable in that sense.
Yes.
But what is clear is that Yunus has run out of time.
Yes.
He should have announced his mandate. The mandate of an interim government is to hold elections. He has not, decided not to hold elections, and he is relying on a political party, Jamaat Islami, which has never won more than 6% to 8% of the total votes. So
Yes.
even if you were to assume, the Ershad's Jatiyo Party, Awami League, and the BNP, they have more than 90% of the popular votes in their support, and the people who are serving in the caretaker government, they are technocrats without any kind of political base or support base. They are either from the NGO sector or some military general, who have been co-opted here. So they have no popular support whatsoever. And I believe that if he continues to clinch on power,
Yes.
Mohammad Yunus and his advisors, they will be lynched by the public, because in Bangladesh the politics is very violent.
Yes.
And they will not have a place to flee. Hasina
Yes.
was lucky that her brother-in-law is the chief of the army staff,
Yes.
General Wakatul Jaman, so he could at least organize a flight, inside India. These people are not going to be airlifted by the Americans.
Absolutely.
And in fact,
we
the
forget
Americans
that,
will abandon
we
them.
forget that aspect of Bangladesh's politics, Suhas, that most of the very significant regime changes in Bangladesh have been extremely violent. There have been massacres of
Yes.
the father of the nation, the military leader like General Ziaur Rahman, and of course several other such incidents. But One just hopes that it never comes to pass. Violence is not the way out, of course. Elections are, and one hopes that Bangladesh conducts early elections. Thank you very much for joining us, Suhas, and of course, my colleague, Manish Jha.